Hello, hello. Welcome. Happy weekend. I hope that you're well. I know that I saw a comment on here somewhere. I think it was, where have we gone? Uh-oh. Hey, Kerry. Hey, Leanne. I actually wasn't going to pop on tonight. I was going to cancel, but here I am. I was getting a headache earlier and I thought, oh no, this is doomed. But I thought, no, I'm going to pop on and join you all. So hopefully I get all the measurements right because I'm in headache land a little bit. So hopefully it's all good. Hey, Verity. So I had an awesome morning with the Stampin' Lounge and the girls over there. We were chatting and crafting away. I didn't actually create anything, but I did start watercolouring. So this is a new set that will be out in January. So I was watercolouring this and having a bit of fun colouring. You know, sometimes you just need to sit there and colour and not think too much. So no doubt I will have something that I create with that soon. But that's what I was up to this morning, and then had a chat with the girls. Hey, Cheryl. Cheryl was on this morning. And puppy mummy. Yeah, the boys are in here with the door shut because the human boys are out there. No doubt they'll be loud. So the fur boys are in here because they don't like being locked out there without me. So anyway, I hope you're all well. If you are watching for the first time, welcome and thanks for joining. My name's Kayla and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator that lives in Tasmania, Australia. And I love coming here every week to share something that I have been creating with you all. Sometimes it's always a bit random. Sometimes I do a fun fold, sometimes I do a technique. It's all a bit, depends on what mood I'm in. So my computer is showing up something a bit weird, which is never fun. I think it's all good. I'm just going to go with it. So this week, I've been lacking a bit of mojo. Now, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. I was pretty unwell there for a couple of weeks. In fact, you might think I'm being recorded because that's what I've been doing, but no, I'm actually here live and I can answer your comments because the last couple of weeks were recorded because I got a nasty chest infection and I had the flu and it was just one of those ones that hung around. So I had to go on antibiotics and it took me a while to recover from it. I just felt really tired. So I did pre-record a couple and this week I think it's taken a bit to get my mojo back. So I sat in here and couldn't create a lot at one time, but I did actually, with the help of a friend who shall not be named because she likes to remain anonymous, she gave me an idea for this week's project because I kept coming back to my desk and struggling a little bit. So this was a bit fun to make because I'll go through that in just a moment. But I do want to quickly share before I get to creating, there is free shipping, and this will happen before I come on live again next week. Free shipping will begin on, what are we today, the 7th? Monday? I want to say, yeah, Monday. So free shipping is on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. Now, it's on orders of $65 or more. But the other reason I mention it is because we have the last chance sale on at the moment. Well, the last chance sale is actually changed a little bit. So there's always going to be last chance products in that section of the store. But the best time to shop them is when they get refreshed, which has just been refreshed. It's the first time we're doing it this way. The last chance products, you will see things that are from the current mini catalogue that are going to be retiring. So they get put on the last chance product list. Some of them are normal price until they're gone, might not have much stock left, and some of them are discounted. So when you see something there you like, they're not going to restock it. So it's best to grab those, especially the ones that are a bargain. There's also the Designer Series paper special release. There's 3 packets of pattern paper that have been reintroduced. So they were packets we've had in the past, but they've got new colours. So while there's free shipping on next week, it's a great time to grab those promotional products and not have to pay shipping. So I just thought I would mention that because that will be happening before I'm back on next week. The other thing that is happening at the moment is, of course, the celebration and online exclusives, which the watercolor images I just showed you before are from the new online exclusives. They won't be going live until January the 7th, but you can get them now. That's why I wanted to mention that. You can join my team, which the link will be in the video description, and you can add those to a starter kit. So when you do purchase a starter kit, you get to choose $235 of product and pay $169. So you actually are getting $66 in free product, plus you don't pay shipping. So never mind that free shipping offer, you actually can get a starter kit and not pay shipping as well. So that is always the best option. I'd love to have you on my team. If you don't live in Australia, you can type in the demonstrator locator and find one near you. And it's a way to get these products early. So I wanted to quickly mention that if you are shopping, that is my December host code. When you add the host code in when you shop, you get a free gift, a handmade card, and a tutorial from me. If you don't know, aren't familiar with the tutorials, I'm part of the Global Creative Project Design team. And every month we release a tutorial. It's 12 tutorials from different designers around the world. And I give that to the customers that order with me in that month. So for December, you will get a tutorial featuring lots of new online exclusive product. And you can also purchase this. If you're not in Australia, you can purchase it through my tutorial store, which you can find linked in the video description. So I'm going to pop back to my camera and show you the project that I'll be making. I haven't done too many test runs, and sorry, it's I've got my light on my glass mat, so there's a bit of a reflection. So I actually made this one first, but I changed it up a little bit. This is hey Sue, hey Christine. This is a gift card holder. It's a bit fun, and the reason I decided to make this is because I've also got Christmas coming up, but my niece and nephew are now getting a bit older, and they're harder to buy for, I think. I don't know, kids these days, I just think they're harder to buy for. So my niece is almost a teenager, which is scary, and my nephew is, this is terrible, I'm so bad with age, I think he must be 9. So I thought that I would make them something to give them a gift card, so it still feels like I'm giving them something. Hey Cassandra, so I've tied this one up with this pool party pom-pom trim, which is so cute, and that is going, and I think it is discounted on the last chance list. And I've made this cute little pocket, so we open it up, and then this is where the gift card slots in. So I didn't actually have any gift cards to try it out with, but I do have my business card, you know, in case you didn't know who I was. And this one slots in just like that. So the gift card will stay, and that remains popped up. So when they open the card, they can open it up, and then the gift card pops up, and then there's a little place to write your message on the inside there. So I thought that was a bit fun, and this was the measurements were provided to me from my friend, and it was really, really cute and a great way to use paper. So that just slots on there. This is also using so it's a bit, I pulled in a bundle that's not actually a Christmas bundle, but I thought it would be really cute because I was giving a gift voucher. So the idea of shopping came to mind, and I thought of this fun attention shoppers bundle. I love the trolley and the cute sentiments, and I thought of doing gift bags and making them Christmassy. So you could obviously, if it was an adult, you could put, you know, your wine, your drink bottles. Well, I guess it is a drink bottle. It's got a drink in a bottle. And then you can make your little trolley, and I'll show you how I put that together. I also, because it was Christmassy, added some of those cute little gingerbread men and candy canes, and they come from this bundle here, which is the More Than Autumn bundle. I've got so many different things sitting on my desk right now. This one's actually staying, so this one's not going. And this has lots of different things in it, but I just wanted to use the little gingerbread men and the candy canes. So that's all I wanted. Oh, that's a good idea. Chrissy made a heap of these cards for the local church hampers. What a great idea. So yeah, and then I use one of my favorites, which is the Spotlight on Nature dies. So these have lots of different, 3 different styles of circles, and it's actually got, if you don't have these are a great essential to buy because they've got loads of circles, like it's got the 2 whole sheets in there. Okay, so now I've showed you the products. I'm going to show you how to make it. I didn't actually show this one. This one was different because, and this is the one I'm actually going to make tonight. There's not a load of difference, but I changed some of the colours and I used Poppy Parade for the circle, but the gift bags are a bit different for this one. So whilst I added, this one's got I did a fail with this one, so we're not going to repeat that. I actually coloured the bags. So on this one, it's probably not easy to see behind the trolley, but I've actually stamped them on DSP to create like patterned bags. But I decided with this one, because it was for my nephew, I wanted to just keep them plain. So we're going to do plain ones tonight, but you could do the patterns just by stamping them out on the DSP as well. So there are options. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how to make the base. Now, if you are crafting along, which I didn't actually provide the measurements beforehand because I was very disorganized this week, I did actually do, and I'll see if I can bring it up, a little template. So if you wanted to craft along, feel free to screenshot that. This is just a standard size sheet of cardstock, so either A4 or letter, and then we're going to cut it down from there. So I thought that will also be in the PDF that I provide afterwards. I'm just a bit behind, so I'll post that later on tonight. It's not actually ready to go like it has been the last couple of weeks. But yes, that is the template that I will be using, and I'm going to show you how to cut that. So, okay, Narelle. So I have got my A4 sheet, otherwise you're using a letter size sheet. Now you could just cut these pieces from scrap. You don't have to start off with a whole sheet, but it is really easy you only get a little bit left over when you use a whole sheet. I'm just folding this down because I thought I can also have that in screen a little bit. So I've got my pool party and it's looking extremely green on my lighting on my computer. So it could just be, it's kind of really bright as the sun's setting here. Okay, so we've got our full sheet here. I'm not sure, you can't really see the whole thing, but that's okay. What we're going to do is cut it in half this way. So on the long side, you want to put that into your trimmer and cut it in half. So for A4 cardstock, I'm going to cut it in half at 14.8. Otherwise, you're going to cut it in half at 5.5. So we're just going to cut that straight down. So we're going to end up with our two pieces like this. Now, the next bit we're going to do is do some scoring. So on this first piece, we're going to keep it as a whole piece, and we're going to do our score lines. So I'm going to line it up at 3.5 centimeters. Otherwise, you'll line it up at 1.5 if you're using Imperial. And then I'm going to pull it along a little bit and line it up at 14 centimeters. Otherwise, it will be 5 3/4 if you're using Imperial. So that's all you want to do for that first piece. Now you bring in your next piece that you've cut from the half, and we're going to cut this one down. So we're going to cut it at 14 centimeters. So this is all that you'll be left with for the sheet of cardstock. And then we're going to line this up and score it at 3.5 or 1.5 inches. So this is literally the base of that. And all you're going to be left with is this piece here, which you can keep to do some decorating on the card. In fact, it is actually going, I've already pre-cut mine, but otherwise this will be the front flap, which will be 6.8. So you only have to trim a tiny bit off by 14.6. So you can actually cut that down and use that for the front flap, and you'll see that as I go along. Okay, so now what we're going to do is do a little bit of scoring. So I'm just going to, I've got to remember which way I'm going here. I'm just going to reinforce the scores, because these are actually going to attach to each other, and that's going to fold over and over the top to make the flap, if it makes sense. So we've got like this, and then that's going to fold open, but these two are going to be joined, and that's going to create our gift pocket. Thanks, Sue. I do try. I had to quickly convert this one before because I realised I hadn't actually done it. That's so terrible. I'm going to turn lighting is really off tonight. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to create, you don't have to, you could keep this piece and just have the slot like this without any decoration or whatever, but I'm going to do a little bit of decoration. So I have pre-cut out some designer paper. So these are from the Sentimental Christmas paper, which was the give back paper where they're donating a certain portion of the money to children's literacy, which is really cute. I have cut a few of those ahead of time, and I will do my best to say the measurements because, of course, I didn't actually print the measurement section of this, but I do have them written down. So I will see how I go because I reckon I could say the metric ones off the top of my head, but I don't know about the imperial measurements. Sometimes they get a bit tricky, although I'm getting better at being able to recall those. So let's have a look. Okay. I do have the in progress document here. So the pieces that we're going to do for this section, I want to create a little bit of designer paper on this flap here, and that's completely optional. You don't have to decorate this little gift card pocket if you don't want to. I think in the instructions I've actually included a piece for each side, but I'm going to leave this side blank on this one. So you could cut two of these and put one on each side, but the important bit is that you add your designer series paper here, but don't join these pieces together yet, and you'll see that in a second. So I'm going to do this bit first. This one here, you will need to cut to 6.8 wide or 14.6 long, or it's 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, and that gives you a little bit of a border there around there, so it's nice matte. So we want to stick this down first. So I'm going to grab my glue and just add a bit of glue down there, and then I want to stick this down to this piece here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give that a second to dry. I'm actually going to stick this piece to the inside. So you think that you won't see it, but you'll see in a second, you're just going to get a peek of it. Now you could, this piece I didn't actually really measure. You want it a bit smaller than this one. So if you go probably 16.5 by even just 3 centimeters, because you only need to see a little peek of it. And in inches, that would be probably, you'd be right with, I don't know, 2 1/4 inches by probably 5 1/4. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that one down. How cute is the pattern on the other side of that, by the way? It's really vintagey, and I have used so many patterns in this Sentimental Christmas, but not the deer, and I really like that one. So I'm just going to stick that here, and I'm going right up to the top edge here, so I'm not actually bordering it. I'm going right up to the top edge. Now I want to take this piece here now, and I'm going to use this labelled with Love Punch, but you could really use any kind of label or shape, basic shape to create a notch. The dogs are going to be silly behind me now. So I'm going to line this up, and I want to roughly center it on this piece. So I'm just sort of putting that in. I'm going to roughly center it. Otherwise, if you don't want to wing it like that, you can actually measure it in half. So half of this would be what, 7.4, and then what did we say this was? 5 1/2, I think. Or is it? Am I totally incorrect there? Am I going? No, it's 5 1/2. So it would be what, 2 1/2, 2 3/4. I don't know if I just did that maths right then. Okay, so I'm just gonna, for the sake of being a bit quicker, I'm gonna roughly line it up, and then I'm gonna give it a punch. Now this punch is very temperamental, but that's all right. I was like freaking out because I jammed this punch yesterday, so I was hoping for the best then. So then when you stick these two together, what that does is you get a peek through of that pattern behind. So it's a bit cute, but that side you could add a strip to as well if you want to. That's a bit optional. It would look cute if I put a strip there. See, I'm doing things last minute now. Okay, so I want to attach these two together now that I've done that bit. So to do that, I want to add some adhesive. Now this bit's important. You only want to add adhesive down to the bottom flat edge. So I'm going to add it right along the bottom there. And then I'm going to add a little bit on either of the short side, both of the short sides, sorry. So you do not want adhesive in this section because you want to have that where the gift card can tuck in. Yeah, Narelle, I don't really use my punches that much anymore either. I don't know why. I'm just, back in the day, they were the going thing. Like you didn't have to get out the die cut machine. It was quick and easy. But now I just don't find myself grabbing them as much. Okay, now you could, in this section, you could wing it and line it up if you really want to, or you could grab a tool to help you. I should show you what I do because it is a handy tip for those that struggle to line up. So I'm going to pop this piece here against this edge of my trimmer, and then I'm going to push this against the edge as well. And what that does, I'm being really cat-handed here. What that does is make sure you get it lined right up nicely and push it down, and then you've got a really nice even edge. So give that a bit of a press, and now you've got that nice pocket like that. And I'm feeling like now I've got that together, I really think I need the pattern on this side. So I'll see if I can locate the paper easily enough. Okay, here we go. So this is the paper. This is a Sentimental Christmas. I think that's what it's called. It's got some gorgeous patterns in here. I absolutely love this one too. It's really, really cute. My favourite pattern though is this one. I love that one. So you can still buy this paper. Okay, so now I've got to remember what we had here. I think it was 3 point, what did we have here? I think I told you 6.8 at the start. It's actually 3.3. I don't know what I was saying. If I said 6.8, I do apologise. It's 3.3 for the paper layer, and then 14.6. So that's going to give me a nice layer. Okay, so I can pull that out now. Let's just make sure I measured that correctly. Yes. For some reason I've got, it's a little bit off on this side, I'd say, because actually what that is I've cut it to 14.8. Now technically half A4 cardstock is 14.85, so you have to move it a little bit. I reckon on this one I didn't quite do that, so I'm just going to cut that little piece off. Okay. So now we're going to stick this down. Where did I put my glue? There we go. So stick that piece down. So we've got a little bit of designer paper on either side because this piece will move. And then you'll see now that you can, with this little slot, it actually makes it easier too because you know exactly where to put that gift card in there. So it slots in like that. So it's really simple. It's not too hard at all. Okay, I've got to come back because I'm missing the comments. 2:30 in the morning, bedtime, I reckon. Thanks for joining. Okay, so I'll pull that out. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Thanks, Susan. It's a My Sweet Petunia Precision Glue Press. It's really handy. You'll find it linked on my website if I know that I've had lots of people ask about them. And I do link on my website to all of my crafty favourites. So you can find my die storage and anything that's not Stampin' Up that I use, I link here. So I've just popped it in the comments so you can find a list of all the non-Stampin' Up bits that I use. Okay, so now I'm going to adhere my paper. Oh, look, I forgot that I'm actually using the treats. So I want a layer down here in the bottom section and a layer up here as well. These two pieces are cut to 10.2 by 14.6 or 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And this one here is the one I think I told you before, which is actually 6.8, sorry, by 14.6, or 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. So they're the pieces that we want there. Now you also want a piece for the front, and that's cut to the same size as this one. So that's 10.2 by 14.6, or 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So that's going to be for the front. And you also need a piece the same size again, so 10.2 by 14.6, or 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and that's going to go here. So that's going to be for our middle section. So we can adhere these pieces down. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue. This is a great way, it's a very practical way to have, or practical card really, to give a gift card, and it's also a great way to use up designer series paper. I find at this point in the catalogue, I get to the point where I'm like, no, I've got to use up the paper, because we buy these pretty papers, and I know I'm always trying to get myself to use them. So I'm just going to adhere that one in there. And then this one here, I'm not going to adhere yet. I'll just place it there so I know what I'm doing. I'm going to adhere, actually, before, probably should have done that a little bit before I stuck that. If you find that this bit here is having trouble closing a little bit, what I find easiest to do is actually take a little bit off here. I probably should have done that before I stuck that one down, but that's okay because I've still got a little bit of room. I'm just going to take a touch off, because that's all dependent on your score lines. So it'll be a little bit different each time. So I'm just going to reinforce my scores now. Now this piece here that I said is going to go here on the front, so you get a peek of that red stripe. I really love stripy papers. A black and white stripe has me. I do love a black and white stripe. Okay, so I'll stick this down. My friend gave me this idea for the gift card holder. I thought it was really, really cool. Okay, so that's that. And then we have, I must have I did pre-cut it. So this here is where you can use that leftover piece of your sheet that we cut at the start. Where am I from? And I am from Tasmania in Australia. So it's 7:30 at night here, and I come on live every Saturday. I'm just going to, I hate looking at that light. So I'm going to use this piece, which is our leftover piece, but I love to add inking. So I'm going to add a little bit of Pool Party ink. Now I recently, look how dirty, I get gluey fingers, and these, I'm always wiping my ink pads with baby wipes because they get so dirty. I'm a messy crafter. Now I recently re-inked this, so it's very dark, but that's okay because it'll be fine. So I'm just going to add some Pool Party ink just to my edges. I really like that it makes it look less flat, adds some definition to the edges. So I'm just going to add a little bit of inking. Today's been fun because after the Stamping Lounge hangout, Rochelle Mayashwari and I have been planning our next events with the Stamping Lounge. So we're having a catalogue launch, and we've got some really fun, we were having lots of laughs. We've got some real fun stuff planned, and I will share that on the sign up for that on my page as soon as I can, because you can join in on that wherever you are in the world, or if you're a member, you actually get it in your membership. So that's all included. If you don't know what the Stamping Lounge is, it's an online papercraft classroom that I do with my friends Rochelle and Mayashwari, and we teach different classes every month, and we have lots of resources. We had a meeting today, and we've got lots of more fun stuff planned. I'm releasing something fun on my birthday on the 20th of December. I thought I'm going to give you guys the presents, well, the ones that are members. So this is the Stamping Lounge. You can become a member. The link is in the video description, or I'll pop it below. You can check it out. It's $24.95 Australian a month. You can join wherever you are in the world, and you get access to this really cool library of classes, ideas, and resources. And we have a monthly class, which is a lot of fun. So yes, we've been doing that today, planning lots of things. So I've added my inking to all the edges there, and I'm just going to stick that onto the front flap here. So it feels very unusual to be, I feel it's funny, I only have a couple of weeks off doing a live video and I feel a bit out of sorts tonight. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Okay, so what are you two Romans doing behind me? Okay, so I've stuck that on the front. I was going to do some spritzing, but I suppose I can do that now. So I've got my, what's this one? Oh no, that's going to be too dark. I'm going to get some Summer Splash, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit of spritzing with my blends marker, just to add a bit of fun to the front there. Now, we've got to do our decorations. So at this point, you've got most of it together. We're going to start decorating. So I have cut from the Spotlight in Nature dies. I've cut 2 out of Poppy Parade, and these are the 2, I'm saying they're 2 3/4 inch in size. That's that one. Now I'm going to colour those with some Poppy Parade ink. I'm just going to add a little bit of blending around the edge. I'm getting some serious glare from, you know, when the sun's right in that last sunset position. It's coming in my window. Okay, this is a very inky pad, so I'm just going to use what's on my glass mat there. I love adding blending around the edges. Just going to make it a little bit darker. You're not going to see, this is kind of what holds the focal point, so our shopping trolley. So I'm just going to add a little bit there. That's okay, and sometimes it's like that. I know I went through a stage there. I had a little break from all things papercraft, to be honest, and I've been paper crafting for a long time now. I think it's been over 16 years, and sometimes we just need a little bit of a break. Yeah, I thought it was really fun, Rochelle, the Poppy Parade. Okay, now the reason I've got 2, you absolutely don't have to have 2, because you could stick 1 and be fine with that. It's just that when you open, you see the other side of the circle, and it's probably not too obvious on the video, but it's because it's the reverse side of the circle, it looks a bit messy. So I like to have 2, and you could even sandwich them together like that, but I've just actually put them together and stuck them both on the front like that. So what I'm going to do is adhere these together and just sandwich them together like that. And then these are going to get stuck to the front like so. But we only actually want to stick, and this is important as well, we only want to add adhesive to the side that's going to be touching this flap, otherwise we'll adhere the card shut. So I'm going to add some dimensionals to 1/2. So I'm just going to start my half line there and then add some at the top as well. So I've added 5, and that way I know that I'm not going to stick this shut, because that's something I would definitely do. Okay, so now I kind of eyeball it, but I've got my fingers sort of where the 2 are, so I sort of know. Oops, that one's not very sticky. Stay there, that's weird. Usually these things stick like crazy. Okay, so I'm going to roughly stick that. I know that I'm going to have my bow here as well, so I'm just going to stick this a little bit across, probably about there, and then you check to make sure you can't see any dimensionals this side. So that's all good to go. Now, let's put our trolley together, and then we're going to do some colouring, which is a bit fun. So I have got my trolley dies. Well, these are actually the die cuts, because I've done these ahead of time. So I cut 3 of the trolleys out of basic black, and then I've cut a base, so this little bottom of the trolley, I've cut that in basic black, and I've cut it once out of silver foil as well. And I also used, so this is the 2 dies for the trolley come like this. To get the little handle to be silver, I actually popped the trolley, and rather than cut the whole thing, I just popped the silver foil under that top bit to get a little handle for my trolley. Now, I did, to make it easier, you could just use your glue press, but I've actually cut these out with some adhesive sheet on the back of them. Now, I don't often use adhesive sheet, to be honest, so I'm going to see how I go, but this is, you can see here, that just peels off. Now, we obviously stock the adhesive sheets at Stampin' Up, and I always forget to use them. But it makes it really good for things like this when there's not much space to add glue on these tiny little sections. Now, the reason I'm sticking them on top of each other is you probably won't be able to see too much, but it creates a thicker trolley and gives it a bit of dimension, which is a little bit fun. So I'm just going to peel off. If you struggle with your finger, you can use a take your pick tool or a little needle or something. It can help peel that adhesive sheet off. So I'm just going to stick that on top, and then I've got a little bit of dimension happening. It's probably very hard to see on video, but it's thicker than just one sheet of cardstock. Now, what I want to do is I've got these two pieces here, and basically I want black wheels. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit of surgery on both of these pieces. So I'm actually, on the silver piece, just going to cut the wheels right off, and I won't use those, so they're rubbish. And then for the black one, I'm actually going to cut these pieces off. So then I can get rid of these pieces. And then what I'm going to do is adhere the silver piece on top of that black piece, and that will give me the black wheels. So I'm just going to add my glue on top of that section and stick that down. And then while that adheres for a second, I'm going to take my little handle piece, and I just want to cut a little bit of that off. So I have the handle only. Now I find it easiest to add the glue to the trolley section. When you're working with small pieces like this, it's also really cool to use, or really handy to use, the take your pick tool, because I know that I don't want to stick my finger in this glue. So this has got a little putty end, and I'm just going to use that to help me place that on top of that handle piece. Another thing when you're doing this that's handy is let the glue dry for a second, because it will become a little bit more tacky and sort of grab onto the whatever you're trying to adhere on the top. So I'm just going to stick that down. Now, this piece here, I want to add just a little bit of glue onto the top of these little pieces that attach. And I'm going to leave those for just a second for that exact reason, so they become a little bit tacky. Get rid of all my rubbish off the desk here while that starts to work. And I do need my blending brushes still. So then I'm going to stick my trolley. I'm going to line up my trolley and just stick it on top, because it doesn't have much area to adhere to. So you want to give that a press and really leave that to dry. So I'm just going to move that up here in the top corner and let that dry for a second. Okay, so now I have pre-stamped out some of my pieces. So this is from the Attention Shoppers set. I've stamped out, 4 shopping bags, and I've stamped out some candy cane and gingerbread men. Now you could do a few, it doesn't matter exactly how many you have. I've just done a little bit of each. I also stamped out my Sentiment Ready, and that is from the Attention Shoppers stamp set. And I've just done all of these in Memento Black. So I'm going to colour these with you. I can't believe I usually colour stuff ahead of time, but I thought, hey, I haven't come and crafted with you in a couple of weeks, so I'll sit here and chat. I'm sure it won't take too long. Okay, so I'm going to grab Pool Party, and I'm going to use this to colour all of my tissue paper on my bags. So I've got my light, and I'm just going to go in with the light first and colour all of these tissue paper sections. You could do these whatever colour you want. So on the first card, I think I showed you that I have actually coloured the tissue paper and the handle, but then I actually stamped out another bag on Designer Series paper and fussy cut it out. So the actual bag itself was patterned paper, so I didn't colour that section. Thought that was a little bit of fun, and it would look really cute as a non-Christmassy card to do some funky patterned gift bags. I think it would be really adorable. I do love this bundle, and it was one of the first ones I got when the new annual catalogue came out, so I just thought it was really different. So I'm going to grab my dark Pool Party, I'm just going to come in and add a little bit of dark now to my tissue paper. Just to add some dark accents. I do love colouring, especially when I'm not. That's what I generally do if I'm not having a lot of mojo. I wasn't having a great success this week with watercolour pencils, I won't lie. I was practicing with the new rabbit set and I just could not colour properly this week. My brain wasn't in it, so I need to bring that back out and have another go, I think. So I've just come back in with the light and I'm just blending that out so that you can't see a harsh line. Sometimes I come back in with my dark if I feel like I need a bit more of it back in there. So I'll just add a little bit more, especially where I can see that it probably needs a little bit of extra. I cannot believe that we are almost at the end of 2024. I put my Christmas tree up last night, and I think I might have mentioned it live before, but we haven't put a Christmas tree up in 3 years. So I feel like there was something going on with me yesterday. I thought I put Christmas carols on and I put the Christmas tree up. I think I'm just ready to see the end of 2024, to be honest. Okay. I think I'd be more festive, like as far as decorating the house, if we actually had Christmas at our house, but we don't. We always go somewhere else for Christmas. So there's no real inclination to decorate for other people. But then my sister guilted me. She's like, you have a child, you have a moral obligation. Okay. Although we said goodbye to Elf on the Shelf. Now, if there's any parents here that they'll know what I mean. I'm kind of glad that we said goodbye to that. Okay. Although sometimes it is a little bit sad that I don't have a kid that believes anymore. So it's not quite the same as it used to be. Just blend that out. It's never been on your to-buy list, Narelle. Goodness me. What's on your to-buy list from the new catalogue, Narelle? Do tell. Okay, so let's add a little bit more back, and then we're going to colour our bags. Okay, so that's our pool party, and now let's colour the bags in. So I'm going to do one of, Michelle, to be honest, I'll tell you why I don't like Elf on the Shelf. We had one elf, completely normal, you know. Elijah's grandmother went and made it so hard because she went and purchased 5 more elves. So Elijah had 6. So it wasn't just moving 1 elf, it was moving 6. Now, I couldn't say no to set elves because she gave them to Elijah before she asked. So it then became a job of moving 6 elves. Yeah, that became a nightmare. You haven't looked at the new catalogue, Narelle. Mind you, I can't really talk. I haven't properly looked at it, really. I just, I mean, I've pre-ordered, but I didn't really properly look at the catalogue. Okay, so I'm just adding, this is I don't know if I mentioned, this is the crumb cake blend. I'm just adding a little bit of dark. Yeah, 6 elves is a nightmare. We even went to Queensland one December and we had to take the elves with us. It was like they needed their own suitcase. Yeah, not fun. Okay, so I'm going to do this one in Summer Splash. Obviously, Eliza knows the elf all business, but he wanted to say goodbye to the machine. So yeah, it was funny. Okay. I love Summer Splash. I'm already dreading Summer Splash going. Like, I love it so much. I don't even know if I want to say, but I think I like it more than Coastal Cabana. I can't believe I said that. No, real, seriously. Of course, there's a pre-order in that bag. Okay. I mean that with complete love. Right, so have you got a ticket to On Stage yet, Narelle? Surely you've, like, I don't know, bought one on the black market. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to just, with Summer Splash, the dark isn't super dark. You've got to wait till it sort of dries a little bit, I find, unless it's just my marker. So I'm going to go back in and just blend out my crumb cake. Okay, I think I'm good. And then this one, I always get confused between the light and dark of this. Wow, that looks really dark now, doesn't it? I always check. I'm like, have I actually just picked up the dark? Because I'm sure we've all done that right at the end of our blending too. Oh. Do you want me to tag her for you? Okay, so what other colour bags do we need? I'm going to do one in Poppy Parade. I'm seriously not used to doing this much blending while I'm live. I feel like I need like elevator music or something. It's funny because when you pre-record a video, you can just, you know, edit out these bits. Not edit it out, but fast forward. And I'm someone that will fill in any space I can with like the most random subjects of talking. I think my Poppy Parade is getting a little bit low. What do you think? Oh, you don't want to see my backup blend drawer. I need to sort that out. Let's see how much more ink we can get out of this. You've told everyone it's her fault. You've ordered I've ordered one more year good fun set with a gorgeous dog. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The one with the cheese wine. I think it's got a sentiment about, is it cheese or wine? You age like a fine wine. I'm not sure. Okay. I don't think I age like a fine wine. I'm almost in my mid-30s now, guys. But seriously, it feels like time is flying by. Okay. I'm going to have to work to blend this one out because this is seriously like the desert dry. I am looking forward to going to On Stage. I always enjoy catching up with everyone. That's weird because 2025, I've actually got a few trips booked. It's not normal for me to really have stuff planned like that. And I worked out the other day that I've almost gone live every week in 2024 and done a free PDF. It's been a good achievement this year. So let's see if 2025 I can keep it up. Imagine that my goal for 2024 was to go live. That was Poppy Parade, and this is Shaded Spruce, by the way. My goal was to go live every week and do this free PDF thing that I've had fun doing. It got kind of addictive, actually. And then we bring in 2025 and I'll just disappear on you all. No, I wouldn't do that. It's actually been a lot of fun, and it's got me thinking and using products in different ways, which is a lot of fun. And that's actually why the Stamping Lounge was kind of born as like originally an idea anyway, because I love to teach how to use products and how to make cards. That's actually my favorite thing. I am not as good at selling product as I am at showing how to use it. But then part of that comes naturally when you show and teach how to use things. But I will happily teach rather than do the whole sales pitch. Of course, I want you to buy Stampin' Up because it's an amazing product, but I actually love teaching. Okay, I think I need to go through my blends because these are seriously needing to, a lot of them need to be changed over. Okay. I can definitely tell we've hit summer because the lighting is completely different in this room. Is Rochelle and Annie and Vicky not going as well, Narelle? That's sad. Could they not go, or could they just not get a ticket? I can't believe it sold out that quick. Luckily, these images up here only take a minute to colour because they're very tiny, because this one here, probably not making it any easier for myself using dry blends. So on the 21st, I have to remember there's so many things going on that week, we are doing a sort of a colouring class on the Stamping Lounge. We're doing watercolouring, which is fun, and we're doing it using the Happy Hibiscus bundle. So very summary, and we're going to show different watercolouring techniques. So we're going to have a lot of fun. I've made my project and I can't wait to share. Okay, now that is the bags done. If you want to, you can also come in with a colour lifter and add a bit of highlighting. This will sort of remove some of the colour. Looks a bit random at first, but it can look nice when it sort of has lifted up a bit of colour. I also added a little bit of Winker Stella, and I just did that to the tissue paper. Wanted to add a little bit of glitter. I totally didn't care that it was my nephew's card. He was getting glitter and all. Do you know, a cute story about my nephew? He is adorable. I gave him, I think it might have actually been sort of for his birthday, or maybe it was for his sister's birthday. He saw the card I gave her, which was actually one of my live cards, was the one recently with the hearts that pulled open. I gave that to my niece for her birthday, and Ruben, my nephew, said, Auntie Kayla is the best card maker. She makes the coolest cards, and I just thought that was adorable. Okay, so now let's do the gingerbread men or women, and I'm going to go with my light crumb cake for these little guys. I'm just adding in my base colour of light crumb cake. So keeping it super easy. And then I'm going to come in with some light pecan pie. I'm kind of going to go just on the left-hand side of my gingerbread girl. I did tell Elijah we'd make a gingerbread house this year. It's kind of an iconic thing that we used to always do, and I said we could make one this year. We all missed out on tickets because we delayed by a day. Oh no. Are they actually doing a wait list? I heard people talking about it, but I haven't had much to do with it. So now I'm coming in with my light crumb cake again, and I'm just sort of blending out where the two colours meet. Sort of blends them together a little bit. So you get kind of like one over-baked side of the cookie here. Okay, so now let's bring in our Poppy Parade. This is the dark. I'm not going to bother blending this one because it's so tiny, but I'm just doing some stripes in my Poppy Parade. Just the darker bits. We've got our candy canes. You could do them in a different colour as well. They don't have to be red. I've seen some very interesting flavours of candy cane these last few years. I saw licorice ones recently. I thought that sounded disgusting. I think I seriously dropped something on the dog then. Which dog was it? It's all. I know he won't eat it. He's a good boy. Okay. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and just chop these down a little bit because we're going to die cut them out. So I'm going to bring in my little machine and then we're going to grab the dies and just cut all of these guys out. I didn't even check actually what days. So I usually go live on my Saturdays. I don't think that any of my days collide with Christmas, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so there'll be the 21st and the 28th. So because Christmas is midweek, I think. So yes, I will still be live. I don't know what I'll do. I was going to get off Christmas, but I still did Christmas this week because I thought there's still some last minute Christmas card things, and well, this one was a bit of a practical one that I needed to make for my niece and nephew. And yes, I might do non-Christmas next week. What do you all think? Are you sick of Christmas yet? I know here at Stampin Up Demonstrators, we get the Christmas catalogue, I want to say August maybe. So I know that online you probably see quite a bit of Christmas prior to now, and then at this point you'll see demonstrators starting to use some other things getting ready for January. So I don't know, you'll have to let me know if you want to still see Christmas or whether you want to see something different. Christmas always comes in handy. You love making Christmas cards. I'm surprised. I thought everyone was going to say no more Christmas. Do you know, my birthday is on the 20th of December, and I used to get so cranky as a kid about Christmas interfering with my birthday. So I got cranky that the tree went up before my birthday. Yes, I was that child. But, you know, I've matured a bit as I've aged, I hope. Okay. So now I've got my little candy cane and my gingerbread guys. I have two massive boxes of Christmas cards. I have not given any yet, but I was starting to get semi-organised and I made a Christmas card list to write on last night. So I thought that's one step better than previous years where I've made tons and have never sent them. So the idea this year is to actually send some cards at least. Okay. I don't even 100% know how much it is to send a card these days. It must be. What's a postage stamp these days? I remember it being $1.10, but I feel like it's more like $1.50 or maybe more now. Still takes the Christmas tree down on his is the 29th. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, what's the go? You're supposed to take your Christmas tree down before New Year's Day or something. Whereas I haven't had that problem for the last 3 years because I just haven't put one up. But it's all right. We've got neighbours over the road that do the whole Christmas light thing. So I feel like Elijah gets to see his Christmas spirit over there. I'll have to see what I can make next week. I don't know. I should use a bundle that I haven't, or something I haven't used much of. I don't know. I've actually been pretty good this year and used basically everything that I've bought. Nothing's really been left behind too much. I haven't used the Snowy Wonder or Snowy Scenes that much, but I do have it, so I could do something like that, even though in here we don't really tend to do snow. And I don't have the Surfing Santa one. I've seen cute stuff done with it because that's more of an Australian Christmas, isn't it? Okay. Last one, and that's I can say I've done some epic colouring and die cutting tonight due to my lack of preparation. But hey, it gave me time to sit and chat with you all, so that's all right. Your husband dragged out the tree a couple of days ago. You were up in 10 years. Now he wants you to decorate it. Is it still in one piece or is it disintegrated? Narelle, you're making me feel better. But how old are your Kiddlywinks now? I feel like you've got more of an excuse not to put up than me. 65 in Australia and 3. Is it really only that much? Is that if you say it's card only, Sharon? You haven't used the frozen edges dies. Well, we'll have to have a craft day, Verity. Okay. Now we need to start putting together our trolley. So I found this easiest to kind of work out what bags we're going to go where. Actually, I think I'll do the same and keep the shaded spruce for the inside. So I kind of just tucked them. I think I might put the crumb cake behind because it's less colourful and exciting. And then I kind of had them on a little bit of an angle, but I wanted to make sure that they were within the trolley. And then once I sort of decided where I wanted them to go, this is probably not the way everyone would do it, but this is just how it worked for me. I sort of stuck them together. And then you can either add a little bit of glue just to hold them there. I worked this out so easily when I wasn't live. Then I flip it over actually, and then get a little bit of tape just to hold them in place. Now I might just add the one piece and see if they're still sitting nicely inside the trolley there. Actually thinking I might move the green one down a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear Elijah singing. It's pretty funny. He sings on the toilet. He sings in the shower. Okay. So they're sitting nicely in the trolley. 28 and 25 boys who live at home and haven't cared that I haven't put up. Well, there you go. That's good. I think it's less to clean up. Okay, so then I've got that in. I want to sort of start poking in some gingerbread people. Now, these will get covered a little bit by the trolley, so you may lose some of their faces a little bit, but I figured that's okay. I just wanted some like Christmas cheer in there, so I just had some little gingerbread guys, and I'm going to poke one into there as well. So I'm just add a little bit of glue there. I'm going to poke that one up and stick it in, poking out the side there. And then I think I had one coming just poking out there. So stick him in there. And then we can add a couple of candy canes. Love these little candy canes, they're so cute. So let's stick a couple of those. Poke this one in here. And then let's see if I can tuck another one in there somewhere. And then we are going to peel off, which I didn't think this one through, but that's okay. Peel off this. I stuck my the bottom of my trolley piece to the adhesive sheet. Wasn't that good? So we're going to just peel that off. Forgot that I hadn't taken that off. So that's actually better because it sticks just like that. Now, then I'm going to stick my trolley right over the top. You might need to just move it around a little bit until you're good. Give that a press down. And then we've got a trolley full of Christmas happiness there. I did actually add, I went a little bit over the top because, you know, that's me. I did add some Wink of Stella to my trolley to make it a black sparkly trolley, but you don't have to do that. I just can't help it, and I add Wink of Stella to everything. I swear I go through so many Wink of Stella pens. Okay. Right, now we can add this to the front of our card. You love the little Christmas tree, isn't it fun? And I like using a non-Christmas set as well. It's sort of fun to sort of mix it up. Okay, so I want to add my dimensionals back here. I'm just going to kind of also add them where the bags join, because that will give it a little bit more stability and make sure that doesn't come off as well. You might be able to hear the dogs snoring. They just want attention, really. They want you all to hear them. Okay, so then I'm going to stick this over the top here. Get rid of all of that mess. And then I've got my sentiments. I stamped this out onto my crumb cake. I stamped this out onto my basic white. I'm just going to trim that down a little bit. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer and just, I want to trim this just for you down into a smaller piece. I don't know why I'm struggling to do what I'm doing right now. I need to create a straight edge so I can trim this down a bit smaller. I've got so used to using my paper trimmer, I've forgotten how to use the guillotine. That's the excuse I'm going to go with. Okay, I'm just going to trim it down a little bit smaller again. So that is my little piece there. And then for this piece, I'm going to fussy cut it out. So I'm going to just go around and cut around the shape. This is a nice curvy script pattern. So they're actually not too bad to fussy cut. You're just going around a nice curved edge. So I've got most of the stuff ready to share the PDF for this, which once I have finished, I will go and finish up and post, which I generally always put a post on my page with a link to my website, which will have a link to the PDF to download. If you haven't seen them, I also have a free PDF library, which should be linked in the video description, where you can download. I think, pretty sure that there'll be 40, there's over 40 PDFs on there now, but by the end of the year, there should be about 45, because I've only missed a few weeks by the end of the year, so not bad. And I hope that everyone's really enjoyed posting them. Okay, so I've got my fussy cut sentiment. Now I'm just going to work out roughly where that's going to go. I'm going to add a little bit. Hey, Sue, how are you? I'm just going to add a little bit of my glue. Use that to, it hits enough of that trolley that it will stick down. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue to my fussy cut section. And just put that on an angle so I can still see my sentiment. And now I'm going to add a little bit of Winker Stella, of course. And I just want to add a little bit of embellishment. So I'm going to bring in these. These have been so popular. These are the red and white adhesive peppermints. This is all I have left. I don't know that I think they might have been on back order, but I know that they haven't gone to the last chance list. So I know that we have them for a little while longer, which is exciting because these have been popular. So I'm just going to add a few of these onto my card. You can tell that I favour the little ones. A couple of those on there, so I've added 5. And then I won't tie my bow yet because we're going to quickly add the inside. So if you're just joining, this is the gift card holder. That's where our gift card goes. But we want to quickly add a panel, which is where we can write a message. So I've got my piece of basic white, which was 10.2 by 14.6, or 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Now to decorate this, we're just going to add a little bit of blending. I'm going to grab some Summer Splash, and I'm just going to add a little bit of Summer Splash into my bottom right corner. I only want a tiny bit. And then I might add a little bit of Summer Splash spritzing. Oh no, that's shaded spritz. Never mind. I'm thinking that's not the right colour. Now I've got my leftover little gift bag here. So I'm going to stick that one on. And then I've got some leftover die cuts. So let's add those on for a bit of fun. So I've got a little gingerbread. And then I've got some candy canes. I don't know if I'll add 2. We'll see how one looks. I think I might just add the 1. And then I'm going to add a sentiment. So I've got my attention shoppers, and on the outside I've written just for you, and I think on the one that I showed I had shopping is always a good idea, but I think I might put treat yourself for this one. So I'm going to bring in that sentiment. Make that a block, and I'm going to use my Summer Splash ink again, just because this is an amazing colour and it belongs on everything. And I shall stamp that down. Isn't that cute? Okay, so let's add a little bit of inky, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue. I didn't even check to see if I'd cut this the right size. So I always suggest checking a layer and making sure you cut it right before you go and add adhesive. Looks pretty good to me though. And now that all folds up, look at that. Then let's do the last step. So I have got, hey Elaine, how are you? We're making a gift card holder. So this is the Pool Party pom-pom ribbon. This one is on the last chance list. It is a little bit, it's discounted a little bit. So if you want this, I suggest grabbing it. It's super cute and looks adorable, and you can also colour this. So if you want to create a different colour, you just run your blend. So I'll just do a little bit. You just run your blend over the top, and you can colour that to be a different colour ribbon. How cool is that? So you start with Pool Party, but you can make it any colour you want. So definitely, if you love this, grab it while you can. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this around my card, and I want to leave enough to tie a big bow. I used to be really frugal with my ribbon, but then I always ended up having heaps left over at the end of the catalogue. So now my motto is, if I love it, I use it. Okay, so I'm just going to use my finger to hold that in place. This is also quite nice to tie a bow with because it stays a little bit stiff, which makes it really nice. And then I'm just going to tie this down into a bow. Now, I didn't pull it super tight for the reason that I think it's nice to be able to slip and slide it off the card as well, so you don't have to actually untie it. You can slide it off. So you can just adjust this to where you're happy. And then you might not be as fussy as I am. So you should be able to move this around the card a little bit, so it makes it easier to not have to pull it off the card. So you can put this on and you can still pull it off later to write in your card. You don't have to untie it. I'm just going to cut that down a little bit. And that is the gift card holder. You have to make 6 gift card holders. Well, these are super easy, and it only uses the 1 sheet of cardstock. So this is the template, but I'll have it in the PDF, which I will share afterwards. So that's the piece that you'll have left over from either your A4 or your letter sheet of cardstock. So it's super easy to do. So that is the card, and then you can just slip your ribbon bow off, which is easy to put back on, and then it opens up and you've got your little spot to put your gift card holder. So it will just slide in there and stay nice and put, so that you can stay nicely put, I mean. Yeah, so you've got it in there. And then, you can also write on the back if you really wanted to. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun. So then you can just pop your ribbon back on, and then slide it across, and then that holds it all nicely in place. So I've now got, oh, oopsie, goodness me, just bashing my desk. Now I have got 3 of these gift card holders all prepared and ready to go. So I have 1 spare now, so who knows? I don't generally buy too many gift cards for people, but I love having one there ready anyway. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks to my lovely friend that gave me that idea. Yeah, so I hope you had fun seeing that tonight and hearing me waffle on about absolutely everything. I will be back next Saturday, which is what, the 14th? Yes. I don't know what I'm making yet, but a few of you said Christmas, so there might be another week of Christmas yet. I'll have to see what ideas I can come up with. So thank you all for joining. Don't forget that that is the template, not anything else. Don't forget that you can join and get those products early, and before I come back next week, the free shipping sale will be on, and it's only available Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So even if you are a demonstrator, I would definitely get your pre-order in and get the free shipping, because it's definitely good when you can get something for free. Awesome. Well, thank you for watching, guys, and I will catch you all next week. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Bye.